Well, that was a false start. All right, let's just move all the stuff out of the way here. We'll get started on something different. Something that I think a lot of people will be interested in, but you never know. I think something will be exciting, and the next thing you know, more people are watching me clean my room and play with sprue than working on this. This needs to go somewhere out of the way. All right. And get these figures out of the way. That's going to be my end goal here pretty soon. Should have it in place by the end of the week. We'll have all the model building on this side, all the painting on that side. So all the tools and stuff, which I don't have a whole lot of them, they're going to go over on this end. I don't really want to put them over here. I want to keep this free. I like the instructions being up here. That works pretty well. And let's make sure that we've got make sure the filter is correct. And why this doesn't. Okay. All right, so we decided for a change of pace, let's build a model that's actually good. Modern, and I don't mean the subject matter. I just mean that it's a modern built model, not something that was made decades ago. Because after working on those tracks on the German's half track, I need something that goes well. So this is what we're going to work on today. I know it's backwards. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just how it is when you're losing that part of the camera. Well, I actually bought this, and the guy I bought it from actually had it cut, so somebody else already unboxed it. Eyes Wide Shut. Welcome. I sat through that movie, and it was a disappointment. Like, nothing happened. Yeah, so this is a Dragon, or a DML as I call them, because it used to be DML, and they gave Hong Kong back to the Chinese, and I guess it became Dragon. But I always called these guys DML. And this is one of the most expensive models I bought at the show at a whopping $10. Now this is like a $40 model. So nothing really exciting on here. It is geez, man. It bit me. It felt like a staple or something. Talk bad about Red China and I get bit. Well, I guess I'm going to get bit again. So this is the late production with Zimmerit. That's why I got this. It already has the Zimmerit on it. And I'm not sure how late it is. Hopefully I can do it for Normandy and it's not like a super late thing. So individually wrapped components. It's like it's got the hull, bottom hull. We've got the parts that go around the mufflers are actually made of brass. All individually bagged pieces. Cables that are actually made of cable. So they're, they flex. Here you can see the Zimmerit on the side of the turret. Nice, not overscale. Rubber tracks and decals, and the last sprue that has a bunch of road wheels on it. Little parts instructions here. Full color, that's wasted. Especially since it shows it in a buff color and it's gray. And here's the decal options. Both of them for Normandy. I'm pretty sure that I can use it for Normandy then, right? So, excellent. This is what we're going to build. I said put the instructions away. No, we'll need it for... It'll work better with the instructions. I could probably build it without them. There's not that many pieces in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these beautiful instructions and we're going to put holes through them. We're going to attach them here. I guess I could use... Yeah, I think that's what these things are for, right? Like the whole shit, that doesn't work so well. We use these hot pink things. Yeah. We don't want to step on that. Mr. Hobby colors. What colors do you use? Yeah, we don't use Mr. Hobby. Nowhere local get that. Are the tracks there? Yes, the tracks are there. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. That'd be a bit much to pay for the tracks not being there. I'm going to have solutions for everything, though. So. All right. Let's put the readers on. The super readers, as I call them. I know. They want me to do the running gear first. It's no fun. I know. All right. We're going to open this thing up. I put one Dragon kit together. And it was the two SDKFZ 222s. And they were super fiddly. It was like a 2-for-1 pack. You buy one, you get another one. Mr. Barnes, welcome. Let's style this down a little bit. Ooh. I can press things with my toes, just like Mitch. Okay. So they want me to build all these sub-assemblies first. All right, well, I ain't stupid like that. We're going to put these in a box as we build them. Okay, so first of all, piece B, 7R, two of them. And they actually had another guy had one of these, same manufacturer for a Nashorn that I didn't snag. Which is funny because that same thing happened to me on the same vendor. Somebody came by and grabbed it. Well, I didn't want to buy it and then realized that I regretted getting it. Wasn't for me. Okay, we're going to assemble those together. I don't think I'll have to do a lot of sanding on this. Now, I don't have my contacts out. We just have readers on, so I only have like +3 magnet. Ya empezamos. The fumblefuckery begins. I swear, every time I put on a pair of glasses. That's the problem with Mr. Magoo. Oh, Mr. Magoo wasn't a fumbler. He just couldn't see shit. That's right. So I did watch a video this morning on how to make sprue glue, and I don't think I'm going to try making it. It's going to smell too much. I don't think I'm going to. It's a bit unnecessary. Last one. Oh, this one's actually missing a tooth. Okay. How's everybody's Monday? You guys gonna go back to work tomorrow in the morning, or are you gonna stick it to the man? I'll have you know I work for a woman. Whatever, stick it to the woman. Does that sound any better? No, not really. It sounds worse. All right, this is a tight fit. Almost. Don't even need to use this stuff. You don't work for a woman. I know, but somebody, I don't either, but if somebody was to say that. Don't let your girlfriend hear that. Yeah, we haven't heard about your girlfriend, Justin. I guess you keep her in line. She's not throwing chanclas or stuff at you. All right. All right, that's the sprocket. And then we got B5 and B6. Okay. These two. I don't mind sanding the little spots off that I just created. What I don't like is having to sand the entire rest of the wheel off because somebody's quality control sucks. I don't think I'm going to have to do that on these models. These are pretty new. These are pretty new. I don't know if that's a spare part. I don't think it is. I'm not going to pull the instructions up, but I'm also not going to throw it away. Now, I actually have multiple Tiger 1s. I only have one that I've completed. It is a Cromwell Models. It's 1/76 scale. It's bloody gorgeous. But a wee bit small. Then I have this model, which is supposedly in 1/72 scale. I have this radio control monster, which has got to be close to 70th or 68 scale or some make-believe in-between thing. This monster. Okay, it's not much bigger than a 1/72nd. Well, I was going to paint it anyways. Okay, we're going to paint this Joker. Maybe we'll use it for North Africa. Got the Feifel air cleaners. And that's what we'll do. We'll use it for North Africa. We'll make it one of those olive ones. A Tunisian tiger. Okay. I paid a whole $1 for it. It's a lot bigger than the 1/76 scale. The bigger the vehicle, the bigger the difference between 72nd and 75th and 76th. It looks very disproportionate. How's this going to fit in here? It's got a little... Oh, it's got a couple little pegs that go in there. Man, I'm not used to this. These jokers are going to spoil me. But there is a piece that goes through those called B10. Now, before we put this thing together and realize it's on the wrong end, let's make sure that all of this fits in where it's supposed to. This is supposed to go in like this. Yeah, today was a day I was not expecting to stay later than I ended up staying. Okay, and this goes like this. Boy, this isn't going to be able to handle a lot of pressure on this. Okay, and here's a little split. There's a hole here that's split 50-50. Okay, and that's split 50-50. All right, so we're in good shape then. Okay, I'm going to glue these two pieces together, and then we'll put these on the back. Don't have to paint the road wheels on these because there's no rubber. They just gave up at that point. By the way, that Tiger, that one that's rubbing in Bovington, I bet that's an early Tiger. I bet it's not steel-wheeled Tiger. Because it came from Tunisia, so it'd have to be one of the early ones. Not even the mid one. Anyway, so I actually have like a Roco Tiger that I'm probably not going to do anything with. That came slapped on paint, just like that half track that I was trying to fix yesterday. And then I also have, it looks like a 1/72 scale Tiger painted gray. So we're probably going to turn that into a cursed Tiger. Because it has it's got the little smoke discharges on the corner. We're probably going to turn that one into a cursed Tiger. We're going to turn that radio control one into a Tunisian one. And we're going to make this one for Normandy. Probably one of those runic units. One of those units with a runic. I looked at one of the Fallet pocket scenarios involves one Tiger 1. Okay. And then we've got to glue the runic units. Okay, there's that. So we got this done, we have this done. Oh, there's still 2-part road wheels though. B11, where the hell's the B11s? Those are 12s. Is there a mistake on here? It says B11. This says 12. These say 11, but that's not 11. Oh, I found an error. $40 kit and the instructions are wrong. Here you go. Let's flip this thing around. See that piece? B11. See this piece over here? Also B11. They're gonna behead somebody in China. They don't behead somebody. They go visit what's his face's house dressed as Winnie the Pooh. Don't call him that. He doesn't like it. You ever think that's why I'm calling him that? All right. So we got B2 and B8 and B1. Hopefully those are correct. 2 and B1, 8 of each. Okay. Here's 4. That's 8. And then they give you a couple spares of these. Let's do something different. Let's do this. I'm probably gonna regret this. It's good for painting, but I need a little bit of a height advantage so that I can work over this and not have everything fall on the floor every damn time. Because that's what's happening. Now I'll end up hurting my neck because it's a little too low. All right. Make sure we're cutting out the right ones. Lots of people like tigers. I'm not a huge tiger fan. Especially a late war tiger, because by this time there's things that are already better than this. They didn't make this many of them, and you figure some of them are already knocked out. And fireflies can knock these guys out just fine. So I was doing a little bit of research on my Shermans. And the issue I was having with them is that this M4 turret that has the small mantlet on it, it's damn near impossible to find a picture of any of them in Normandy. You can find them in Italy. You can't find them in Tunisia either. In U.S. service, that's what we're interested in. I found more pictures in Italy than I have in Tunisia. So I'm like, okay, I'll just make them for Tunisia, right? I mean, it's an earlier mantlet. If they're prevalent in Italy, you'd think they'd be even more prevalent in Tunisia. So maybe I'm looking for Italy. Maybe I'll say the hell with it. I'll make it Tunisians. I don't know. Maybe I should wait to paint that to see how my tiger turns out if I do a Tunisian tiger. I don't know what the Americans wore in Tunisia. Did they wear just the same stuff in Europe? Not like they showed up in shorts or anything. I think it's probably the same gear. They just got a lot dirtier, a lot dustier. There are parts in Tunisia that it rained like a mother. Tunisian mud hole. But the other two Shermans don't have a back plate. I'm gonna have to make one. And it's not gonna be fancy. It's gonna be just a freaking plate to hide the inside, and that's it. I don't think it's worth making it out of green stuff. Man, everybody quiet today. Everybody modeling? You guys prefer me doing models or painting or mixing it up? Probably mixing it up, I had to guess. The problem with the painting is if I start painting something, I'm going to be painting that one thing for a while. Like, it's rare that I paint something for less time than it takes to put a model together. I like mixing it up. Sometimes I don't feel like painting. And sometimes I feel like I really should mix it up. It really is. There's painting and there's airbrushing. Sometimes I feel like airbrushing. Well, airbrushing certainly is the one that's going to keep me the most active. Kind of hard to fall asleep while you're airbrushing standing up, you know? See if we see anything really out of hand. No? I guess you guys don't care. Maybe everybody's here for my color commentary. I don't know. I'd like to think that's the case. That's available 24/7. Go on a road trip and man, it's taken me forever to finish this Audible book. But I find myself stopping it because of traffic. I don't really deal with heavy traffic, but man, I think ever since COVID, people don't know how to drive. They drive significantly worse. You know, this takes a while to do, but you know what? If you do it right, you don't have to go back and do it. What do we do next after that? Oh, we got to build the other road wheels? Sons of bitches. It's funny because that's the part that takes longer than anything else. You know, I could rush this, and then it would be, when we were a kid and work the things out. And you don't cut them off the sprues; you just wiggle them off the sprue. Leave big old gouges of plastic and stuff. You don't care. You're a kid. And I'm actually surprised how many people have told me, "Oh yeah, we used to build tanks and stuff out of them. We put bottle rockets and blow them up." I'm like, why would you blow them up? Like, is your time not worth anything to you? Okay. This was. That's 1 and 2. These are the ones that have the little piece. So the 3 and the 4 go together. That's this piece right here, 8 of them. And these don't have a locking device. They just go like so. Be fumbling shit. Alright, so what we're going to do is let's flip all these over to this side. And then we're going to soften this. I don't want to put it on both ends. I don't want to get all this stuff everywhere. And I do it anyways. I need to pay. I'm tired. We're tired today. Oh, my daughter, I talked to my daughter at lunchtime today. She went to a modern art museum in Spain, and she said she was embarrassed to take pictures of the things because she wanted to just take pictures to show what kind of a shit show things were. You know, art that isn't worthy of being in a museum. But I realized that we have a modern art museum here in town. It's small, but I found out that the reason a lot of those things are in there is because they're donations. Well, nobody's going to donate a Rembrandt. You know, they're going to donate something they don't want in their house. Like, I'm tired of looking at this, whatever the hell it is. And she told me, she's like, I don't want to take more pictures, but I don't want people to think I like that stuff. She showed me one room that was big and had like three boxes. And there's like a really big room, like, I don't know, 20 by 40 or something like that. And there was like three boxes that just had in no particular shape. I said, you should go grab the attendant and ask them, say, hey, where's the artwork here? And when they point out the three boxes, I said, well, when are they gonna unpack it? I don't think these are things. Let's get rid of them. All right. This is done. This is done. And this is done. Now we'll do the three parters, and then we get to put them together. And look, it's a one-piece whole. Like civilized people do it. Oh, now I see these. Where the heck did I see? I didn't see any of these comments, man. I didn't see any of these comments. I'm like, man, nobody has posted anything. All right, let's go back through them. Jeez, I'm like, don't work for a moment is the last one I saw. Hey, Dan, welcome back. In my case, I'm the man, so I can't get out of it. Lousy, keep my minions busy. Yeah, I don't know how I could. I couldn't have my own business. What? We don't need turds. She doesn't bitch. She older than me though. You have Hitler's at any of those German cars? I don't. They gas in China. I'm a Stug fan. Painting can be painful if too tired. Okay. Now we got. It wasn't showing me those things. Fucking technology. I hate it. It's great. It doesn't work. When it doesn't work, you're like, why did they even invent this shit that doesn't work? All right. Let's clip this little bit off. I think I've fallen asleep with a paintbrush in my hand. Well, it's not stressful, so. See, this actually looks like it's a piece. That's the important, is that it's not stressful. And that we don't have to get this done by a certain time. You know, but this is. I figured, oh, this will be much. How long did it take me to find a mistake in the instructions? Moments. Everybody has bad QC. Yeah, so we're probably going to make this a runic tiger. I don't know that we'll put that unit's markings on it. It's funny because both of the decal options are for Normandy. I probably will use neither and make my own. I don't like, oh, this is, you know, Sturmbannführer so and so tiger. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to. Hey, you didn't get the camouflage right in that one little spot. I said, yeah, I know. I painted it better than the Nazi bastard did. Okay, and then we're going to have 4 of these little ones that we're going to cut out. So let's try this again. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. Chat filter, all messages. Okay, nothing new. No, it was on all messages, and the next thing you know, I'm like, I switched it to top, and I got more messages. Like, that's not how that's supposed to work. All messages should give you more messages than top messages. And it does. Are you hung? No, I'm a fucking castrato. Get the fuck out of here. Don't come on here and be a turd. I've been dealing with turds all day long. I behave better online than in person. It's too much trouble to misbehave online. Bring up something controversial, then you gotta defend your position. And like, who's got time for that? Somebody who lives in mom's basement? Anybody watch anything really cool on TV? I know some of you guys don't watch TV. I don't really either, but I did finally see that Gladiator 2, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it. Of course, I was expecting it to be, the shit show of shit shows. So I was disappointed. It wasn't that bad as a shit show of shit shows. I told my daughter today, I said, hey, we got stuff to watch. Gladiator 2's out. You didn't watch it without me, Daddy, did you? I'm like, yeah, I did. I wanted to make sure it was okay for you to watch it. So we'll watch it again. Karakesha. I think Ridley Scott just isn't well. No, there's a lot of topics. There's a lot of Roman topics that haven't been touched that would be pretty interesting if they did them correctly. Like the whole Marius and Sulla would be really interesting. Well, it depends who they cast as who. Although I have caught clips. I have caught clips of some movie, and some of you guys that are older than me will know it. I don't know what movie it is, but they cast Richard Harris as Sulla. I think that's a good. I think that's a good cast. I haven't seen it. Maybe he does a shitty job in it. Can't cast him in it now. He's gone, whatever. But I don't know what movie that is. But I think that's a. I like Richard Harris, anyways. So that's a good cast for that role. You watch the Leeds United victory parade from Leeds City Centra. I like the British spellings of things. They don't bother me. It's the pronunciation I have a problem with. That long ass name town that you guys just call Leicester. Like, no, we got to drop some letters then. Do it or the French come back. Not the Lancastrian French, the French French. You spent more time blocking morons in chat than watching? Oh, while you were watching that thing? That stinks. Yeah, they're just. People don't know how to behave. They're trying to get a rise out of everybody. All right, there's one. Let's just give this a once over. The Leeds United victory parade. I guess they won the whatever cup. I guess United is a common ending to a lot of those teams. So and so United. Is there like a Leeds separatist? Leeds United and Leeds separatist. There is. It might be called something else though. It sounds like a revolt. Look out, those separatists around. Look out for the separatists in the stands. Yeah, I keep thinking, it'd be nice to go to one of these model shows and somebody have like a ton of those two packs from Italy that they just want to move. Like, I need any vehicles, but it's fun to do. You get to learn about the vehicles by building them. Sometimes, depending on what the vehicle is. Like I said, I'm not a big Tiger fan. I know just about everybody is, but and I'm not a fan of Tigers. The biggest reason I'm not a fan of Tigers is they have that separate organization. It's not like they were in every Panzer division. They're in these silly little battalion things, and only a few of them were actually at certain times actually in a Panzer division. Ostdeutschland had a few at Kursk, and so did the SS units at Kursk. And they might have operated in cahoots with some units for a while, but then after a while they're like, okay, well, we'll go back to, we got to get sent somewhere else. So I'm not a fan of them simply because of that. B11, it's not B11, it's B11 in Chinese apparently means B12, but only if it's a small piece. How many of those we need? 8. Okay, they give me 2 spares. Probably because these things can go flying. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Set this aside. And then here's the hard part. Like, what do you grab while you're trying to cut this thing down? So let me go grab some stickum. That seemed to work pretty well. And then not use a piece that's ridiculously large. That didn't work worth a damn. That probably worked the best. Dang, you're bothering me blowing. 1. 2. Oh, it's the counting game. 3. And what I really dislike is Panzer brigades. Oh, I really hate those. They don't even have a damn symbol. Now, sometimes they do, but not a Panzer brigade fan. Okay. All right. So we put an outside piece with an inside piece. Really? And you can install that in? Why would they have bothered to make this 3 pieces like that? That's freaking weird. Why would they have done that? I wonder if I can't just put them together like this and then dribble this shit in. Are these 2 pieces somehow getting glued together? No. Okay, that won't work. And in the middle, we'll put this little guy right here. Man, sneezing attack. This wasn't one of the dusty models. I don't think it was the models that was dusty. I think the instructions were just impregnated with shit. That just seems like, you're just creating extra work for nothing. Now, if you value your time, you just get these 3D printed. But this plastic is so much easier to work with than 3D printed stuff because you use weld cement. Now, if you could use weld cement with 3D printing, now you're cooking. We're going to lose everybody again, didn't we? You've been sneezing on and off all day, probably from all the recent cut lawns. This last year, for the first time, I've chosen to take allergy medicine, over-the-counter allergy medicine for the pollen. Fucking old shit, man. That didn't happen to me when I was 52. Old people problems. Yeah, it's unusual that I sneeze. It's not like, if I sneeze, like, okay, what's going on? Am I getting sick? Am I getting something? What's happening? One more to do, and we start assembling this thing. Old people problems. All right. All those guys are in there. So all this is complete. All right, so now we're going to get the bottom hole that's sealed for its safety. Okay, I get it if you don't want small pieces to break off. It's one piece. Why are you sealing it from itself? Oh, I might have COVID gas in here. It did come from... Oh, never mind. Nice Zimmerit. And it's not like an even pattern. It looks like it's applied by hand. Like there's some variations in there. Of course, if you get two of these, the indentations will be the same in both of them. So you're just fooling yourself that you think it looks special. All right. Let's question everything. These are awfully thin. All right, if I can get away with this, I'm going to try to slide them on and then put a little dot of this stuff afterwards. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get away with that. These little, very delicate little spindles here. Now I'm going to take this. I don't know if those are pieces, but I'm going to keep them. And this is gone. See ya. Those model kits that they had before my time, I mean, I was alive, but it was before my time, that they made them that had optional motorization. I think Tamiya made some of them. I think Bandai is the one that's famous for them. Did those things work? Or they were just false advertising like sea monkeys? It just seems like they'd just be false advertising. This is what throws you off. There's a hole here, and there's a hole here. And the piece that goes on it doesn't have a locator or a peg. It's like you could have just made them, even, dude. What you doing? And then we'll go to the same place over here. I like Dragon, but of the three Chinese manufacturers that I'm familiar with, it's my least favorite one. How can you say that? Because S Model is freaking great. And so is Trumpeter. I mean, other than Trumpeter has a problem with open hatches. They just do. They absolutely have a problem with open hatches. All right. Now they want me to put these sprocket wheels up front, all right? I'll put them up there. Oh. All right, I'll even glue them. I'm certainly not scared of this track. Out of the stuff that I've had to do this weekend, like, this track is the least of my worries. Okay. Then we get crazy. We get a double one. And an open one. Okay, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Really should call this a spool one. A spool one. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting. I've done this before. I just don't remember how I did it. This had to be hell to change on a real tank. See, what they should have you do is sub-assemble it, build the half, glue it in, and then come back and put the other half after you put this one on. All right, we can do this. This is just going to take. We got it now. I got enough of these. We'll glue them in a second. You know, if these pegs weren't so long, that would also help, but it's all good. Anything is better than. I remember one time I bought a. We'll see how old you guys are. A Gillows World War I plane. You know, where you got to use the dope. You got to make it out of balsa wood and a dope. Yeah, if you have the patience for that, I might actually be able to do one of those things. And sometimes patience is expecting you're not going to get it done in a moment. And once you realize that's the case, everything else is cool. Look at that. Bimbo, we got it. You can have the tight tolerances, but you got to build it correctly. Like the people that manufacture, you can't just throw it together and pray that it comes out all right. Oh, this last one. Ho 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 ho! You're so sneaky. You're rolling off too, you slacker. Yeah, I picked one up and realized I was like, I was like 19 probably at the time. Like, whoa, way outside my, you know, gillos. I wouldn't do a plane that isn't a fabric plane to begin with. Like, it makes sense to do a World War One plane. I don't know what it was. It was probably an albatross, considering it. I like albatrossing. Okay. We got everything in place. So I don't want to deal with this shit again. So we're gonna add a little bit of this drippy drip right here. We're gonna put some there on every one of these. Even if the road wheels needed to be painted, I'd still glue it. I can reach anything that can be painted. Okay. This is done. What's over here? The business end. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to do the track. Let's see how the track goes together. You're not the boss of me. You guys can't tell the difference between B12 and 11. You put the same B11 piece for both. That's it. Oh, this is sweet. This feels totally different, and it flexes like good. And now they wanted to show off. Look how they did this. So here's one side. Look at the other end. They gave you like a tiny little piece here, just to show off. Like, yeah, we could even do this. And now I'm not going to use anything hot. I'm just going to staple it. Let's make sure we've got enough. Let's see what the slack situation is. Yeah, I'm gonna install this after I paint it. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it should. Right. Separate pieces towards the outside. Yeah, this is how it should be. Look at that, it doesn't fit. Okay, well, that's a battle for a different day. And I'm sure it'll turn out fine, whatever I do with it. Especially since Dan showed me the light of copper. Oh, you stitched the end too. Okay, yeah, well, 0.01, huh? Yeah, we'll get some. I don't know that they have it at the place I go to it in .01 and said, oh, what is uh point oh, by the way, I did start watching that Blood, Dust, and Snow, and I realized, oh, there's like 26 episodes to this. I'm going to see what .01 brass is equivalent to in gauge. I prefer, yeah. Okay, so the Tigger turret. Yeah, this is gonna look great because I waited to paint the Cromwell one for 20 years. Like, I don't have the skills to paint this correctly. I waited till I had the skills, and it turned out better than I could have ever hoped. All right. It doesn't even tell you how to put the turret together. You crazy Chinaman. Nope, it's not on the other one. There's no way these guys have successfully invaded Taiwan. All right. Get up off me. All right. We know how to do this. We don't need no damn instructions. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. There's the two sides. Might as well take the turret top off too. See, I wish both of these hatches opened on this one. Take these pieces out. Yeah, we're gonna have a commander sticking this. Some big old some big time racist dude. Racist. There's going to be a runic racist. Now, the one trick I learned from, I don't know who, I used the X-Acto knife instead of scraping things off, use the back of it. Works really good on the barrels, too. You don't overdo it. I can't take credit for it. Somebody else came up with it. I get the hand sanitizer. That was on. And somebody made it come up with the hand sanitizer before, but I didn't hear about it. You know, if you don't need to take much off. Let's see how that fits. Just absolutely beautiful. Now, this tank without a turret box in the back, you can have it. do the same thing here. Yeah, the daughter's got 2 more weeks and she'll be back home over the summer. So I gotta start making a list of movies to watch with her. She's my war movie watching buddy. Don't mention to her. Yeah, see, this has a little piece here. That's not flash. It's like a little bolt hole. Don't mention to her that the guy that cowered up and saved Private Ryan. It'll make her mad. You know, the guy that left all his buddies die and he sat around there shivering. Definitely the worst part of the movie. I don't see how anybody would have let him. I don't realize. I don't doubt that somebody would have frozen like that. But I do doubt that if somebody was frozen, they wouldn't have just killed him. It's like you don't go through all that trouble and just walk away. Oh, it just shows that they didn't have any contempt for. Okay, yeah, I don't find that very believable. Wow, these have pegs, but they have pegs of unusually small size. Okay, here is over engineering something. You ready for this? This is insane. All right. All right. So, we're going to put this turret together, right? We're going to put it all together. And then we're going to put the front of the barrel together, right? It installs in there. How does it install in there? These 2 plastic pegs that go in the side. I guess just like the real one. Like, what the heck, man? I mean, I guess, you know. All that, you can't tell the difference between B12 and B11. I don't know. Doesn't seem like they got their priorities straight, but this isn't a. I remember when this model company came around. When I worked at a hobby store in the early 90s, the very early 90s. DML, DML, DML. And people would swear, oh, they got better detail than Tamiya. Well, they might be, but Tamiya is the gold standard, period. End of story. At least the Tamiya 135th scale tanks compared to these guys' 135th scale tanks. That was back when that's the scale I did. I can firmly say I'm never going to do 135th scale tanks again. Unless I decide to war game in 135th scale, which my game's crunchy enough to do that, but that'd be expensive. Crunchy enough game. Where's the number Phantomwaffe? Maybe it's back here in the corner. Okay, I'm used to seeing it more towards the front. That's that close combat mortar, which there was this pistol port that was on the roof, and you put this charge in there. It was basically like a mini grenade. So like if infantry got too close to you, you'd put that in there like a flare gun, fire it, and you wouldn't have any live bodies crawling all over you anymore. They would have had enough. Well, this fits like a damn glove. God, it looks so weird, rounded back. All right, I got to check on one thing. Be right back. Okay, folks, that's going to be a wrap for this one. I need to go have dinner, and we'll be back in the morning. Let's start getting an inkling what this thing looks like. It also looks so weird not having the fenders on it. Looks like a snuffleupagus. All right, folks, we'll see you guys in the morning. Bye-bye.